Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the frontline changes report for the past 24 hours. There's a number of frontline changes, one very important one, and they're all Russian, they're all red. So we're going to go through Sinkivka, Khyslivka, Stemakivka, Netelove, Pervomayske, as well as Uruzhaine. So that's the frontline changes that we'll be covering today. So the first one is over at Sinkivka. So there is a geolocation of Russian forces starting their attack against Sinkivka over in the northeastern part of Sinkivka. This geolocation confirmed the Russians' presence in this area here. Ukrainians have held Sinkivka very successfully for a long time already. So we will continue to monitor and then see how this progress. So we move on over to Khyslivka. So just nearby, yesterday we have reported the capture of Kotelivka, and I mentioned that I was surprised that the Kotelivka actually fell before Khyslivka. And it looks like with the fall of Kotelivka, the Ukrainian forces decided to bounce from Khyslivka, and the Russian forces have now captured the entire of Khyslivka. So this is reported by Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian mapping, and this is way ahead of the Russians reporting. According to the Russian mapping, the Russians have not even captured Kotelivka yet. The Russians are still something like this. But according to the Ukrainian mapping, we already have the Russians capturing the entire of Khyslivka and the entire of Kotelivka. So this is very fascinating, in my opinion, that the Ukrainian side actually reports the fall of their towns so readily. So very interesting. So we're gonna see the Ukrainians gonna find a new line of defense from now on, and I think that from this point all the way to the new line of defense, we will see a huge Russian capture around this area here. So, and with this push around here, we will also likely to expect that Stepova, Novoselivka, and Ivanivka to fall, because the Russians can now attack into the rear positions, and this will just force the Ukrainians into some kind of withdrawal. So the front line here is starting to unravel. So the fall of Kotelivka and Khyslivka is significant, very significant. I'm not sure about other channels. We'll talk more about it, but definitely I will. So we're gonna see massive change around here. We'll probably talk more about it in the SITREP. So the next frontline change is over further south, over at Stemakivka. At Stemakivka, also similarly like Sinkivka, there is a geolocation of the Russians attacking, and this shows that the Russians are pushing in the eastern part of Stemakivka. So if you zoom in a bit more, you probably see better. The Russians have attacked in this position and are taking probably part of this tree line. There is two lines of trees around here, so the Russians are still going to have some fight before they can actually reach the settlement itself. But the fact that there is frontline change is significant, because we always have reports of fighting at Stemakivka, but there's always no frontline change. So this actually is pretty significant. And the next frontline change is over at Netelove, over at the Avdiivka front. So Avdiivka front, correct. So at Netelove, in the northeastern part of Netelove, so this is Pervomayske, and sorry, let me zoom out. Pervomayske and Netelove, Russian forces have attacked in this area here. Russians also expanded their control over at Pervomayske. We will go through in details. So in Netelove, the Russian forces have taken a bit of a tree line. They have advanced a bit. This is based on information coming from Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian source. And over at Pervomayske, this is a continuation of what we have reported yesterday of the Russian capture. They have expanded their control, taking another tree line, and they also started to attack the next tree line around here, and probably also started to capture some of these trenches. The fact that these movements are happening means that the Ukrainians probably is now conducting tactical retreats from this area here. So I'm expecting that this entire salient to fall within the next 3-4 days, I guess, because it's a tactical retreat. The Ukrainians will slowly withdraw out into safety, probably through this main road if they can't, and of course they will probably help out in the defense, going to the entrenchment or going to Nevelske or something like this to help out, while the Russians have to move very slowly, because this entire area is heavily mined. And there is a lot of drones that the Ukrainians are deploying around this area, slowing down the Russian progress. So this will allow the Ukrainians to conduct the orderly withdrawal from this area here. So that's all from Pervomaiskoye. The next frontline change, the last one, is over at Uruzhaine, over at the Donetsk front. So just now we were here. Here. Now we are going here. So over at Uruzhaine, the Russian forces also geolocated to expand their attack. They are now geolocated on this tree line. That means they are pushing up on the eastern part of Uruzhaine. So Russian forces are pushing in this area here. And again, this is yet another instance where we are seeing the actions, the geolocation of the actual actions that the Russians are now conducting. And they are pushing around Uruzhaine. It looks like fighting through it is a bit difficult. So Russian forces have actually come here. They tried to attack through the village. It looks like this is a bit difficult. So they are now taking a new path. So heading in the eastern part. Maybe they are trying to go around it. So because there is also Ukrainian forces at Staromayorsky, they can provide fire support into Uruzhaine. So it does make things very complicated. So I think this is why we are seeing this happening. So these are the frontline changes report for the past 24 hours. Do press the like button, subscribe. If you have not watched yesterday's SIP-Rep, do check out the SIP-Rep. You should watch it. Because it's a heavy one. There's a lot of information in it. So missing it is a waste and of my time. So do try to watch it, and I'll see you guys in the next update.